Her first novel was banned in Australia but went on to be a bestseller. 30 books later, 40 different languages and 500 million books sold, Jackie Collins has released her latest exciting instalment, Confessions of a Wild Child. Jackie sat down to speak with me about her amazing life, the future of publishing, sex and her quest to empower women. Hello Jackie, and welcome to my home.
Thank you, Cheryl. You have a lovely home. I love it. It's great to be here.
Funny, I had people round for dinner last night and I'd just flown in from Bali, so I was a little bit frazzled and trying to tidy up for you. And a friend of mine said, "What's happening tomorrow?" And I said, "Oh, I've got Jackie Collins. She's coming in to talk with us on the book circle." And he said, "Oh, yeah." And he's just eating his dinner. He said, "I thought you meant like the Jackie Collins." And I said, "I did." And everybody just popped out of their chairs. Somebody took to the garden outside with clippers.
Oh no, that's so funny.
Seriously. And it was like, the real Jackie Collins? And I said, yes, the real Jackie Collins.
That's so sweet.
Anyway, let's get on to reading though.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So so we're going to be talking about Confessions of a Wild Child, which is what, your 29th or 30th book?
This is my 30th book.
Wow, yes. 30th. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I know, for a school dropout, not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Now, I think there's a lot of lessons to be learnt in this book, and I wondered how much of you was in the character, was in Lucky as a teenager.
When I was writing it, I didn't realise how much there was of me in the character of Lucky as a teenager. But you know, having looked at it now, I realise that it's all about me, really, in a way, because I was just like Lucky. I was very kind of, waiting to experience all these adventures, boys, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But at the same time, I was street smart. And that's what I think this book shows girls. Be street smart, respect yourself,
But also, too, I think that what's really transparent with your books is, and blatant's probably not the right word, but it is an honest approach to relationships and to
dating. Yeah, it always has been.
Yeah.
My first book, The World is Full of Married Men, was banned in Australia.
Yeah,
not
I read
because
that.
of the four-letter words, because I took them all out, because my publisher asked me to, but because it took the double standard and tossed it on its head and showed men. I mean, I love men, some of my best friends are men, but it showed them the way they behave. I'm going to Canberra for the weekend and I met this girl, but it meant nothing. So my wife would never do that, but it meant nothing. And this went on in the book and men were like, shocked by this book.
Yeah, because they don't want anyone to know their secrets.
No, and their secret is they think they can get away with it.
Yeah, and the world is full of married men.
The world is full of married men. I remember when I got the title, I walked into a party and I looked around this room and I said to my girlfriend who I was with, I said, "You know what? The world is full of married men." And she goes, "That's the title for your book." And I said, "You're so right."
Yeah.
Because they always used to come on to me too. It was always, "My wife's at home." And why don't we? I mean, my best man at my first wedding actually chased me around a table. I mean, this is a true story. I couldn't make it up. I just got married,
That's right.
Cool it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Often people think that success comes easily, and when I read about you, it doesn't.
No.
That there's work, there's dedication, and you're not scared of any of this.
No. Yeah. No, I love it. I love what I do.
Absolutely.
I wake up in the morning and I have a passion for what I do, and if I have nothing else to do except write, that makes me happy. And I have so many more books to write that I want to write. I mean, I want to bring back Flynn from The Power Trip, which was my previous book. I'm currently writing The Santangelos, which is Lucky Santangelo Today. And then I've written a play called Jackie Collins' Hollywood Lies. I have a cookbook coming out called The Lucky Santangelo Cookbook, and it's full of fabulous food pictures. I hired this amazing photographer, and then it has these wonderful illustrations of Lucky. And then it has little scenes that I've written of Lucky and Lenny with some of the recipes, what they're doing when they're eating this particular recipe, how they came across it. Then it has a whole drink section where Wolfgang Puck in Hollywood created this drink called the Jackie Collins, so I put that in.
What's in the Jackie Collins?
Oh, all kinds of things. Gin and vodka and exactly, it's delicious.
Now, I also read somewhere that you're writing a memoir. Is that right?
Oh, I'm also writing that too, called Reform School or Hollywood, which is what my parents said to me when I was thrown out of school. And I've already started it. I'm not going to do, I was born in London and blah, blah, blah. So I open it up with don't move blank or I'll blow your blanking head off, which was said to me by a lovely man in a ski mask with an Uzi in my face. Right. And I thought, that's a good way to start the book.
But was that a real scene?
It was a real scene. It happened in Hollywood about 10 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
And I was taking somebody home in my car, and we were trying to get into their house with their electric gates. Right. And my window was open, and this guy just appeared out of nowhere, Uzi in my face. I made a daring escape because I was writing Lucky at the time. So I was in a lucky mode. Yeah. But afterwards, you know, I like shook for about a year because everybody said to me, do you realize how quick that trigger, if he'd pulled that trigger, because I managed to get the car into reverse and take off.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that could have just flipped and gone anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See how brave you are?
Well, no, I think I have an angel watching over me. Yeah, I believe in angels.
All right. Now, I want to get back to strong female characters.
Yes.
And I want to get back to, you know, I think talking about sex openly, I think that there was a Barbara Cartland who said something about...
Oh, yeah, I was on Terry Wogan.
There was about, yeah.
There was an English talk show called The Terry Wogan Show, and Miss Cartland was on it, and she had a light clenched between her knees, so it went into her face, so she looked good.
Oh, right.
And she says to me,
gosh, I need one of those.
Yeah, clamp it between your knees. Oh, you look good. And she said, Miss Collins, you are responsible for all the perverts in England. And I just looked at her and I said, oh, thank you.
Yeah,
what else do you say?
A compliment.
You know, I know.
But also too, this whole thing, more so in England, but I think it's everywhere, this whole thing of repression of sexuality, particularly for women, that, you know, what it is to feel is not true. And I think what's happened is that your books actually just brought that out into the open. The fact that we could just talk about.
Exactly. You don't have to be a gynecologist to write about sex, which is what men do. They suddenly become a gynecologist.
It's abrasive.
Yes, it's very abrasive. And you're like, no, I don't think so. It's got to be erotic. It's got to be funny. I think that people only like reading sex in books if they are interested in the characters.
Absolutely.
You have to be interested. Otherwise, go out and buy one of those girly magazines and read the, you know, pages that people write in because you don't care.
Now, also, how are you dealing with the changing technology in our industry?
It's very interesting.
Yeah, because a lot of people, a lot of writers that I've spoken to are feeling very threatened. A lot of writers that I also have spoken to have embraced the digital culture.
I've totally embraced it.
You have?
Yes. What I've done is in England and Australia, all my books are out on ebooks. They're all there.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In America, some of the ebook rights came to me. So I have started publishing my own ebooks in America, which has been so interesting. I can choose the cover. I've done The World is Full of Married Men. I've done Lucky. I've done Lady Boss. I've done a short story I did for Rolling Stone called The Rock Star and the Lifeguard.
I want to read that.
It's kind of a fun short story.
Yeah.
And my daughter, she wrote a novel, and it's called Playing Along by Rory Samantha Green. Yeah. And it's a lovely novel. Actually, I want you to get it and read it because it's really fun. It's about an English rock star and an American girl and how they meet.
Right. Yeah.
Very interesting. But she self-published, and she's getting brilliant reviews and has done it herself.
Yeah. Is there any tips that you can give, one, aspiring writers, and two, young people, not just about writing, but about, you know, success and about becoming the person that you want to be?
When I do a signing, like for instance, I did a signing yesterday in Sydney, and there were little girls coming with their mums, and I would say to them, I want you to remember this, girls can do anything. And I said it to several little girls yesterday, and I'm hoping that in 10 years they're going to remember that as a moment that they should think about. Hard work is what you have to do if you want to be successful. Yeah. But I say to women, you know, don't sit around waiting for the right man to come along. That's not life. You know, get something for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when are we going to have our first female president?
Well, soon, I hope. Very soon, because I'm not sure if the one that they're going to put up is the right one, but I think there's a lot of very smart women in America, and they should be, you know, front and center, because when you look at the political meetings, you see a sea of grey-haired men and about 3 women. And it's ridiculous.
Isn't it absolutely ridiculous?
Yeah, because women are much smarter than men. Well, and men will admit this. They will admit this. I mean, men basically, they're little boys.
Yeah.
You know, they want
and
their
also,
toys.
Well, that's right.
Yeah,
We're multitaskers. Often
Yes.
when I see images of, you know, in this country of Parliament, and you see the shot and it's all men, and I think, oh God, I get nervous for the country.
Yeah.
I think we just need to have a balance. We need to have more women.
It's
we have a
ridiculous.
different sensibility.
Yeah, why don't we have a balance? It is ridiculous in every country.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, it has to happen because women are smart. I mean, men, they want their toys, and war to them is a toy in a way, you know. Oh, we can send the tanks in, you know. It is. It's their game. It's a game.
It is a game.
Yeah.
It is. Well, what can I say? Thank you.
This was lovely. I love being in your home.
Thank you very much. For me, it's just been, you know, the most wonderful experience. I'm shell-shocked. I'm starstruck. And I can't thank you enough for coming. Thank you very
Cheryl.
much.
I've really enjoyed it so much.
Well, so have I.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want this to you?
Yes, I would like
My sister
She doesn't pay me well.
Beryl, yes.
She doesn't pay me well.
Oh no, you got to do
so-
something. Did she take you to Bali?
No.
No. You've got to change everything. This is not good. Did she invite you to dinner last night?
No.